Parents, when did your daughter's boyfriend finally win you over? I always pictured my daughter marrying a serious, ambitious lawyer just like her. She is a corporate attorney, for crying out loud. But then she brought home Zach. Zach was a chaotic ball of golden retriever energy, wore loud vintage bowling shirts, and worked as a freelance DJ. He drove a bright yellow Jeep and never seemed to take life seriously. I am a massive perfectionist. My life runs on a strict schedule. So, naturally, his loud, unpredictable vibe sent my blood pressure through the roof. For the first 6 months, I kept my distance. I was polite but incredibly stiff. I'd shake his hand, ask dry questions about his gigs, and quietly count the minutes until they left. He tried to win me over by bringing me obscure vinyl records and homemade hot sauces that could strip the paint off a car. I smiled, nodded, and buried them in the back of the pantry the exact second he looked away. Then came the 4th of July. I had been prepping for this backyard barbecue for a week. The yard was pristine. I had a $150 Wagyu brisket smoking for 14 hours straight. Suddenly, my daughter had to take a massive conference call in the guest room, and my wife ran to the grocery store for more napkins. That left me completely alone on the patio with Zach. I was taking the brisket off the smoker, exhausted and stressed out of my mind, when disaster struck. I turned my back for 5 seconds, and the neighbor's massive mastiff jumped the low fence, snatched the entire foil-wrapped brisket in its jaws, and bolted. I just stood there, holding an empty carving knife, completely paralyzed. This was the centerpiece of the party. The entire day felt ruined. Before I could even scream, Zach sprang into action. Without panicking, he checked his watch, grabbed his keys, and said, "Don't sweat it, Mr. D, we're gonna fake it." He sprinted to the sketchy corner bodega and came back with cheap pork shoulders, a giant bottle of cherry cola, and an alarming amount of paprika. I thought he was absolutely insane, but we worked together like a frantic restaurant kitchen. We were chopping meat, throwing spices everywhere, and laughing as sticky cola sauce ruined our expensive shirts. He told me about how he used to work at a rundown diner in Texas and had to learn how to make cheap meat taste like $1 million. I let my guard down and told him about how I ruined my very first barbecue by dropping a whole rack of ribs into the swimming pool. By the time my wife and daughter walked back outside, we were leaning against the grill, drinking cheap beers and laughing until we couldn't breathe. The crazy part? Zach's fake cherry cola pulled pork was a massive hit. My neighbor even asked for the secret family recipe. Zach and I just made eye contact across the yard and smirked. That chaotic, goofy DJ saved my pride that day. I stopped seeing him as a joke and started seeing him as the perfect, joyful balance to my daughter's highly stressful life. He is proposing to her next month, and honestly, I'm letting him DJ the reception.